Good morning. It is a privilege to introduce an extraordinary alum whose career reflects a profound dedication to education and community. Monica Kelsey-Brown has devoted her career to creating equitable educational opportunities and inspiring young minds. She earned both her bachelor's and master's degrees at UW-Whitewater, building the foundation for her impactful career, and she later completed her doctorate degree at UW-Madison. Dr. Kelsey-Brown currently serves as a superintendent of the Waunakee Community School District, where she leads with a focus of innovation, inclusion, and student success. Her leadership builds on her groundbreaking work as the first person of color to serve as a superintendent of the Brown Deer School District, where she implemented programs that advanced equity and enriched student learning experiences. Beyond her leadership roles, Dr. Kelsey-Brown's contributions extend to initiatives like Upward Bound and the McNair Scholars Program, demonstrating her commitment to expanding access to higher education for students from underserved communities. And today, we honor Dr. Kelsey-Brown for embodying the UW-Whitewater Foundation's 5 T's of engagement: time, talent, treasure, testimony, and ties. She gives her time to mentoring educators and future leaders. She shares her talent as a transformative leader in education. She invests her treasure into initiatives that empower students and improve communities. Years ago, she established an endowed scholarship in honor of her mother and grandmother, who were both instrumental in pursuing her education and career. Through her testimony, she inspires countless individuals to strive for equity and excellence, and she maintains strong ties to UW-Whitewater, coming back to campus often to volunteer and mentor, exemplifying the enduring connection between alumni and their alma mater, UW-Whitewater. And today, she serves as our commencement speaker. Dr. Kelsey-Brown, the stage is yours. Please join me in welcoming her to the podium.
Good morning. Energy in the room. Aren't you all happy that you're graduating? Today is your day. Let's give all of our graduates a round of applause. Good morning, UW-Whitewater family. To Chancellor King, staff members of the Office of the Chancellor, past chancellors I've had the opportunity to interact with: Chancellor Greenhill, Chancellor Watson, Chancellor Telfer, Whitewater staff members, graduates, parents, alumni, family and friends, good morning, and welcome again to the Winter 2024 Commencement Address. I am honored today to be one of many to salute and celebrate our graduates for all of your outstanding academic accomplishments. I am also humbled by the ask. No one could have told me 35 plus years ago, when I first stepped foot on this campus, I would be granted the opportunity to speak to the graduates of my alma mater. I have had many colleagues and acquaintances who have stood here in this space to offer the commencement speech. My beloved mentor and coach, Dr. Roger Pulliam, may his soul forever rest in peace. Colleagues and friends, Attorney Yolanda McGowan, Regina Carlisle Williams, who's with us today, and my former student, Crystal McLean, all who did a good job in this space. To my mother, I am thankful she is able to be with us today. Mom, raise your hand. She's right there. She has always been there for me through thick and thin. The resilience, the grit, and the fortitude that resides inside of me is all because of her. To my husband, Stephen Brown, also a Whitewater graduate. We met here on campus 30 years ago. We've been married for 30 years, but been together for 34 years. Thank you for always being by my side and for your never-ending words of encouragement. I didn't think I was going to go here, y'all. I did good yesterday. To my daughter, Alexandria, who's also with us today. Raise your hand, Alexandria. She just graduated with her law degree in May of this year. She continues to be an inspiration and a motivation for me to keep pressing on. Know that I am proud of you. To my family members near and far, my high school guidance counselor, who is still an integral part of my life, my doctoral advisor, Gloria Latson-Billings, my pastor, John McVicker, and his wife, Miss Marilyn, and the esteemed ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, all who have supported me, I say thank you. Whitewater graduates, I stand before you today on the shoulders of a myriad of unsung heroes, including my mother and grandparents, Tracy and Willie Mae Cowan. They all played a role in shaping and molding me into the person that I am today. I was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and spent many summers in Mississippi with my maternal grandparents. I was a child whose parents separated at the age of 6, a child who moved at least 12 times during my K-12 experience, a child of a single mother on welfare until one day she decided that she was going to go back to school to pursue a degree. My mom often tells us the story of when she went to the local university to enroll in college. They told her that she could not be on welfare and pursue a college degree at the same time. So she had to choose one or the other. So while she was unable to pursue a college degree, I observed the wherewithal she had to make a better life for me, my older brother, and my younger sister, without being a part of the welfare system. She decided to work 2 jobs and removed herself from a system that she no longer wanted to be a part of. And she always made a way out of no way. And so again, to my mother, I want to say thank you for all of the sacrifices. I also have the experience of being a daughter who was the primary caregiver for my father for 18 years as a part of the sandwich generation, where you were raising a child and also taking care of a parent. And as a first-generation college student who, by the way, failed accounting, failed biology, failed speech. And here I am. I stand before you today as your commencement speaker. I share these experiences with you not only to give you some context about who I am, but also to assure you there is not a direct correlation between where you start and where you finish in life. How you start out doesn't necessarily have anything to do with where you end. Again, I am thankful for my journey, for being a proud 2-time graduate of the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. My experiences here were nothing short of amazing. Both the challenges were amazing, and also graduating, obviously, was amazing. Being a part of the Black Student Union, the Gospel Choir, one of the founders of T-Fu Cultural Ensemble, along with interactions with college professors and university administrators, also shaped and molded me into the person that I am today. Now, and what about you, UW-Whitewater, class of 2024 graduates? Today is your day. You have done it. After years of all-nighters, eating instant ramen noodles, and pretending to read the syllabus, you are now free. Free to start paying back those loans that you took out. Congratulations. Parents, I know what you're thinking. I paid how much for this degree in addition to the loans that had to be taken out? Don't worry. Your children are now equipped to tackle real-world challenges like navigating LinkedIn, finding out what a 401k is, and explaining their major to your family members every Christmas without crying. Be sure and know that a family member will ask you, and what's your major again? And what do you do for a living? That will come. So no matter how many times you explain it, someone will ask again. Now, graduates, please take a moment to appreciate the faculty members. Yep, give it up for the faculty. Faculty members who inspired you with their knowledge, their passion, and their impressive ability to ignore when 50% of the class submitted the same essay using ChatGPT. They knew it. All of you had a unique college journey. For undergrads, college was a time of discovering new ideas, new relations, and figuring out how long you can survive on frozen pizza. For graduates, it's been a time of research, deeper learning, and sometimes wondering, why did I think grad school was a good idea until you got to today? I'm sure you've had your challenges. For some of you, it was biology. For others, it was finding a seat in the library during finals week. And for many, it was group projects. Nothing tests your patience more than being paired with someone on a group project whose greatest contribution is, what's the deadline again? Let's not dwell on the hard times, though. Let's talk about what you've learned. College is more than just academics. It teaches you life skills, like how to function on 3 hours of sleep, or craft a professional email to your professor that says, I know this is due, ... but without sounding desperate to get the assignment in. You have learned how to navigate awkward situations, the one like seeing your professor outside of class and both of you pretending like you don't see each other. And how about the fact that you have mastered Blackboard, Microsoft Teams, and Google? As graduates, sometimes we have no idea how to fix a doorknob, but you can clear your browser history in record time. On a more serious note, 4 to 5 years ago, or maybe 2 to 3 years ago, you took flight in pursuit of acquiring the next major milestone in your life. 4+ years ago already, at a time when we were all navigating the pandemic, many of you set out to embark upon earning a bachelor's or a master's degree. And despite all of the uncertainty that existed, there is much to be said about what you have done to make this day possible. So today, we recognize you as a class of graduates who had to respond to an ever-changing climate at a time when no one really had any real answers. Being in a position of doing what you could with what you had in the best way you knew how was extraordinary. You proved that you are champions and academicians ready to apply your acquired knowledge to enhance and advance the world in which we live. Graduation is not just a celebration of one moment in time. It is a culmination of all of your years of schooling, all of the work you put into learning about yourself, your academic acumen, your personal growth, and the challenges you had to overcome. And as you ponder your future and navigate continued uncertainty, as you find your place in this world, know that you are needed and you are valued. College is not about having it all figured out. It is about figuring it out as you go. It's about trying new things, failing sometimes, and even pretending you're okay when your Wi-Fi goes out. As you transition into the next phase of life, be it college, pursuing a career, or continuing a career, you will continue to be challenged to make some very tough decisions that will affect not only you, but will also affect others. In the midst of those tough decisions, speak up for what is right, even when no one else will. Stand up for what is right, and be a beacon of hope for someone who strives for the next best place in life and just can't quite seem to figure out how to get there on their own. Be the one who stands up for humanity. Be the one who demonstrates compassion. Be determined. Be full of promise. Be brave. Be bold. And be courageous. One of the best opportunities for living in a time like this is that it gives us a chance to become even more aware of ourselves, to become even more aware of who we are. Think about what happens to your iPhone when you have too many apps open, or your laptop when you have too many windows open. It drains your battery, or the devices are prone to crash. They crash to give themselves a chance to recalibrate and to start fresh. So graduates, when you get to a place in life where you're feeling anxious, uncertain, or exhausted, look introspectively and give yourselves permission to recalibrate, reboot, recharge, and start fresh. Being well and taking care of your mental health is necessary. Do it for yourselves and be unapologetic about it. This is something I am still learning, because at the end of the day, only you can take care of you. Class of 24, I leave you today to consider the following as you continue to navigate the ebbs and flows of life. Number one, sometimes what you're most afraid of doing is the very thing that will set you free. Number two, if you are more fortunate than others, build a longer table, not a taller fence. Number three, don't change who you are to please others. Be yourself and choose people that choose you. Remember, you can be the total package for a company or organization. Your resume could be stellar, but you could be at the wrong address. Move to a new location if you have to. Number five, remember that your best won't ever be good enough for the wrong people, and you will always be good enough for the right people, even at your worst. You are worthy, and you have a lot to offer just the way you are. Number six, not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path. Number seven, you can have results or excuses, but you can't have both. Number eight, don't blame a clown for acting like a clown. Ask yourself, why do you keep going to the circus? Number nine, do not wait for others to celebrate you. Set goals, achieve them, and clap for yourself. My final challenge to you today is simple. No matter what path you take, include helping others as part of your purpose, and remember, if you risk nothing, you gain nothing. The hope for a better day and better tomorrow lies within each and every one of you. On behalf of everyone gathered here today, we are proud of you and your willingness to step into your own greatness. We are excited to share in this victorious moment. There are friends and family members who look forward to witnessing your future goals and aspirations along with your footprints that will shape and create a new reality for us. Now, I'm going to go off script here a little bit. If you are an early childhood major, an elementary education major, or a secondary education major, I'm going to ask you to stand really quickly. Ooh. So I'm going to put a shameless plug in here as the superintendent of the Waunakee Community School District, the most amazing school district in the state. Look us up for a job. Thank you. Congratulations, class of 2024. We wish you all the best. Remember this day as a celebration of what is yet to come. I am Dr. Monica Kelsey-Brown, and I approve this message. Congratulations.